Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I want to start this off by saying this video is not to brag or boast about any funding that the team has received so far, but rather a video to give you guys ideas on how to fund your future projects. Every single day, I get comments like, where can I find developers for free? Or how can I make a game with no money? And plenty of more comments like that. While looking for developers for free isn't really the best start to your game dev journey, raising funds to make your vision into a reality is. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how me and the team have made nearly 2 million Robux before we even got to release our game. Honestly, everything started with this small place. I made it in hopes to earn just a couple Robux, like some complimentary or complimentary? I think that's the right word. Just a way to kind of help fund the game, right? Maybe it makes a little bit, maybe it makes nothing, but it didn't take me too long to build or make this area. Now with this place, I did quickly realize that people were willing to donate and help fund this game, mostly from seeing all of the videos that we've made on creating the game so far. I think one more thing that helps in a weird way is Roblox has a huge problem right now with very copy and paste, unoriginal ideas. Clicker Sim 49,596,000. Guys, there's not really anything new coming out to Roblox. It's just how can we make a game where the player clicks the screen a couple more times than last? And I think people are a bit ready for a change. Anyways, off on my little side rant. The main things that I wanted to do with the first variation of the funding game, of course, you need two things. You need a place and you need a way for players to be able to donate. So we made this board and I tried to design it to where it has some of the game aspects within it. For example, motorcycle mirrors, a motorcycle tire that spins when someone donates, and an exhaust hanging off the side. The next thing that I wanted to add in the game that I don't see enough of when I do see funding games is rewards for the people who donate. At the end of the day, most of the people who donate isn't to get these rewards, but it is a nice gesture to kind of, it's a thanks, really. So we have tiers for those. If you donate any Robux amount at all, you will get a donator chat tag within the game. And then the other ones, 1,000 will get you $1,000 in game, 5K will get you this skin, and etc. Also, this particle, oh my, we're gonna get into some more stuff in a minute, but this particle, look what happens when you're moving, bro. You're paying 10K Robux to look like you smell bad. So we definitely had to remake that in the updated version of this funding place. At the start, we had the board, we had the rewards, and we had some things from the actual map so people could see the build quality and get excited for some of the stuff that was going to be in the game. Now, I did run into a bit of a problem with this game, and that is one thing I wanted to discuss today. Having a place where players can donate and check out some of the game assets is a cool idea, but it's not going to get any players or any donations to help your team fund your project. There's nothing to do, or there's no one big playing it. For example, the only time people were ever in this place is if I was live streaming or if I made a video on the place. And of course, not every dev team has an audience, nor has the time to be streaming 24/7 in hopes that one person comes in and donates. So I wanted to fix this. How could I make this into sort of a game in itself, give players something else to do rather than just look at a donation board? And that brought us to this. A complete rendition, a rework, if you will, of the funding place. This lets people try out the motorcycles that'll be in the game that they're donating to build. And of course, we still have our donation board with the rewards down here. But this way, we found players actually playing the game. Instead of just coming in here while I'm streaming, there's usually 9 to 30 players actually in the game enjoying the motorcycle system, which is kind of nuts. With an average playtime of 8 minutes, that's pretty crazy as well. Also, with having sort of a testing variation of the game you're trying to make, it does let players see where the funds are going that they're donating. When they can see stuff come to life even before the game is out, well, it's pretty awesome. Now this place, I wasn't exactly happy with it either. So I decided to update it yet again. And that puts us to here, guys. Look at these new ramps, Ring of Fire. We have some UI on the game now The bike system itself has been getting updated so much, and this pretty much constant updates is letting people see that we are working on the game, and they still have plenty to be excited for. All in all, I think making a funding place for your game is a fantastic idea as long as the game is an original, cool idea. Without an audience, it's gonna be hard enough to get anyone to donate to your project because nobody is gonna know about that project. However, if somebody does find it, and it turns out to be Clicker Simulator 49 million, well, they're probably not going to donate, and they're probably not going to be too excited to tell their friends about it as well. So if you're making your first Roblox game, I wouldn't say a funding place is too necessary. I think they're only great when you have an idea that feels almost too big for you to accomplish by yourself. So when you're making a funding game, I have 3 things that you'll definitely need to do. Of course, have a way for people to donate, and I would recommend giving them some sort of a reward when the game does come out. The next thing you need to do is make sure you have some sort of a community, whether this is a little bit of a following on Twitter, TikTok, a Roblox group, literally anything. Maybe you have 20 friends that are just excited to have a game like the one you're making, have them kind of share it around. A little bit of shares, a couple retweets, whatever, is better than nothing. And the last thing, try to make your donation place have something to do that's related to the game you're trying to release. For our example, it's having a bike system. All right, the last thing I wanted to do today is show you guys the dream game before funding versus after funding. This is the start. So this is my first ever attempt at building a bigger map, building something, the biggest thing I ever have built, right? And in comparison to where the dream game is at now, well, it's nothing too special. But it did teach me a lot of stuff that I needed to know before moving into the next map. We ran into some problems pretty quickly with this layout, whether that being too many 90-degree turns or the map overall just being too small. It doesn't take that long to get across it, and if you have, I'd say 15 to 25 players in the game, well, it's not really gonna feel too open. Now let's show you guys what the game looks like after funding, and after a lot more time spent. This here was probably a couple of months, and this here, aka the new map, has been a year so far. As you can see, there is definitely quite a bit of improvements. We went from 1.5 base plates in size to just over 12. There is races on an actual track and on a dirt track. There's houses that you will be able to buy way later in the game, like when an update comes out for it. There's a jail, there's a huge city, guys, there is so much. And it would have been possible, but would have taken a lot longer with lack of funding. So guys, if you have a cool idea, if you have something that seems a little bit too big for you to personally pull off, make a funding game. And once again, guys, if it's a clicker simulator, an obstacle course, I'd say if it's within your first 10 Roblox games, you probably don't need to seek outside funding. Anyways, enough of that, okay? I think I've covered all of the basics. Let's get into the 3 questions of the day. Question number 1, if your bike game releases in time, would there be holiday updates earlier in this year? I'm not exactly sure what time the game's gonna release. I know we're gonna have a paid alpha and then a paid beta that is half the price of alpha, and there probably won't be too many holiday updates until the game is fully released. I think alpha is just gonna be the game getting out, having some way to earn money and points, and then some way to customize your rides or your motorcycles. Beta will then introduce some more gameplay mechanics that I'm not going to fully get into right now, but we do have them listed out. And then release is when we feel like the game is just good. We feel like there's enough content there for a release, but yet we still have plenty of content ideas for updates. And when the full releases is probably when we will start getting into those holiday themed updates. Question number 2, can you do Bloxburg realistic? Guys, if you're unfamiliar, I have a mini series where I make popular games, but I make them realistic. And I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know for now. Like maybe it's a possibility, maybe a portion of the map. We'll see. But for now, yeah, I don't know. And the last question of the day, what will you do after the dream game? Nothing. Like, if a little dev team or a little something wants to crank out a couple simulators or something and I have a percent of that, cool. I'll make some of those. But there's nothing else that is top priority list to me. The dream game is it. When it's in alpha, I'm gonna work hard to get it to beta. When it's in beta, I'm gonna work hard to get it to release. When it's released, I'm gonna work hard to make the best updates possible. This is the only game I really want to work on. Everything else just feels like too small now. Too like just cash grab, like, I don't know. The dream game, it feels different. It feels different. But guys, that will wrap up today's video. If you have any questions, leave them down below so we can put you in a future video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.